You know what they say about curiosity in cats? Well, I'm about to become roadkill. My name is Elliot, and 3 weeks ago, I thought my biggest problem was my wife Sarah's new obsession with reorganizing our spice rack, alphabetically, by cuisine type. Don't ask. But then, she moved in across the street, window directly facing mine, and suddenly, my morning coffee routine became educational. Look, I'm not proud of what I'm about to tell you, but buckle up, because this suburban soap opera is about to get real twisted, real fast. It started innocently enough. Victoria, that's her name, I learned from the moving truck guys who were definitely not checking her out while she directed them in yoga pants. Definitely not. My wife Sarah was at her book club, literary discussion society, every Tuesday night. And Victoria? Well, she had this habit of leaving her blinds open during her evening Weka routines. I told myself I was just being neighborly, checking on the new resident, making sure she was settling in okay. From my bedroom window, with Sarah's opera glasses that she uses for theater performances. The third Tuesday, I noticed something odd. Victoria would wave, not just any wave, a deliberate slow wave, directly at my window. She knew I was watching. That's when I found the first note. Tucked under my windshield wiper Wednesday morning, expensive stationery, handwriting like calligraphy. Some neighbors are worth getting to know better. V. My hands actually shook reading it. Sarah was making breakfast, humming some tune about commitment and forever. The irony was suffocating. But here's the thing that should have been a red flag the size of Texas. How did Victoria know which car was mine? Because she'd been watching me too, for weeks, before she even moved in. The notes kept coming, always when Sarah was gone, always perfectly timed. Your wife leaves for yoga at 6 a.m. Thursdays. I make excellent coffee. V. That blue shirt brings out your eyes. Wear it tomorrow. V. Marriage is just a piece of paper. Some connections transcend legal documents. V. I should have thrown them away. Should have told Sarah. Should have installed security cameras. Instead, I started wearing the blue shirt. Started timing my morning jogs to coincide with Victoria's garden watering schedule. We'd exchange glances, smiles. Nothing inappropriate, I told myself. Just friendly. Sarah started complaining I was distracted. You're like a zombie, Elliot. What's gotten into you? If only she knew. Last Thursday, I did something monumentally stupid. Sarah was visiting her mother for the weekend. I walked across the street, knocked on Victoria's door. She answered in a silk robe, smiling like she'd been expecting me. Finally, she said, I was wondering how long you'd make me wait. We talked for 3 hours about art, travel, philosophy, things Sarah and I hadn't discussed in years. Victoria listened, really listened, made me feel alive. Nothing physical happened, but emotional infidelity? Yeah, I was diving headfirst into that pool. As I left, Victoria handed me a photograph. Old, black and white, a couple standing in front of a house. My grandparents, she said. This was their house. I looked closer. The house in the photo? It was mine. My house. The one I'd lived in with Sarah for 8 years. Small world, I mumbled. Victoria's smile was sharp. Smaller than you think. She'd inherited our house. Legally. Her grandmother never sold it. She'd been renting it out through property management companies for decades. We'd been living in Victoria's house, paying rent to faceless corporations, never knowing the real owner. Victoria could evict us anytime she wanted. The stakes just jumped from adultery to homelessness. Over the next week, Victoria's true nature emerged. The sweet, mysterious neighbor act, performance art. I could ask you to leave, she said during our second coffee meeting, but I'd rather you stay, under new arrangements. She wanted me to divorce Sarah, move in with her, as tenant and lover. Think about it, Elliot. No more pretending, no more dead marriage, just us. The sick part? I was actually considering it. Then I found Sarah's journal, left open on our kitchen counter. Never had Sarah been careless with personal items. The entry was dated 2 weeks ago. Elliot thinks he's being subtle. Poor man doesn't realize I've known about his window peeping for weeks. Time to accelerate the plan. My blood froze. Plan? What plan? I started digging. Property records, social media, background checks. Victoria's story was completely fabricated. No grandmother, no inheritance. She was renting the house across the street under a fake name. But here's the really twisted part. She'd been in contact with Sarah for months. They'd been planning this entire seduction. My wife had hired Victoria to seduce me, to give Sarah grounds for divorce and claim infidelity. Sarah wanted out of our marriage, but needed evidence of my cheating to protect her financial interests. I confronted Sarah that night. She didn't even try to deny it. "You've been emotionally absent for 2 years, Elliot. This just expedited the inevitable. So you hired a professional homewrecker?" Sarah laughed. Actually laughed. "Victoria's not a professional anything. She's my sister." Let that sink in. My wife's estranged sister. The one who'd been traveling abroad for 5 years. The family pariah Sarah never talked about. They'd reconciled specifically to destroy our marriage. I had 2 choices, run or fight. I chose chaos. I called Victoria, told her I'd made my decision. I'd leave Sarah for her, but I wanted to do it publicly, dramatically. "Let's give the whole neighborhood a show," I said. Victoria was thrilled. Sarah was suspicious but couldn't back out without revealing their conspiracy. The morning of my planned big revelation, I found one last note. Not from Victoria, from Sarah's mother. "Your wife isn't the mastermind, dear. Ask her about the insurance policies." Margaret. Insurance policies? I checked our paperwork. Sarah had taken out a massive life insurance policy on me 6 months ago. Victoria wasn't just there to break up our marriage. They were planning to unalive me. The neighborhood barbecue where I was supposed to dramatically leave my wife for her sister? I had a different announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet my wife's sister, Victoria. They've been working together to frame me for adultery, steal our assets, and, oh, this is the fun part, murder me for insurance money." I had recordings, text messages, financial records, the whole conspiracy laid out like a true crime podcast. Victoria tried to run. Sarah tried to lie. But I'd spent the previous week documenting everything and sharing it with the police, Sarah's mother, and about 15 neighbors on our street group chat. Sarah's in county lockup awaiting trial. Victoria skipped bail and disappeared. Apparently, this wasn't her first con. The FBI is involved now. Me? I'm living alone in a house I might actually get to keep, depending on how the insurance fraud charges shake out. Sarah's mother feels guilty enough to testify against her own daughter, so there's that. The irony? I actually was falling for Victoria. Even knowing she was manipulating me, part of me was attracted to the excitement, the danger, the attention. Sarah was right about one thing. I had been emotionally absent from our marriage. But attempted murder? That's where I draw the line. So here's the lesson, folks. If your morning routine suddenly includes opera glasses and your spouse starts leaving journals conveniently open, maybe skip the extramarital flirtation and go straight to couples therapy. Or at least check your life insurance policies. My name is Elliot, and I'm the neighbor who lived to tell the tale. Unlike my marriage, my bank account, and my trust in attractive women who wave from windows. But hey, at least I don't have to pretend to care about alphabetically organized spice racks anymore. Small victories.